Welcome to We Wine Whenever. Grab your glass and join three Jersey Shore housewives, Wendy, Kelly, and Lori, as they dive into everything from Bravo drama to life's everyday chaos. It's unfiltered, it's hilarious, and it's the real talk you've been waiting for, from relationship to pop culture. We drink wine whenever, and we hope you do too. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a 5-star review. Cheers! Hi, welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelly.
We are talking about Real Housewives of Orange County Reunion Part 1.
Hard to watch.
Hard to watch. Very hard to watch.
I didn't enjoy this at all.
Very disappointed that they didn't show that video. They're going to save that till the third episode. I thought for sure we were going to start with that whole part of the season.
Of them hearing the content creator say that Tamra had been speaking to them.
Yes.
Well, so because I thought Tamra came off terribly in this reunion so far, episode 1. I thought she came off terribly. Do we think she saw that before they started filming, or do you think she hasn't even seen that yet?
I don't think she's seen it yet. And she's
already coming in so hot, like being so rude to Shannon. So fucking rude to Shannon.
All right, before we get into that, let's talk about the outfits. So I thought overall they looked really good.
I totally agree.
My favorite, I think, is Shannon.
Yeah.
Yes, Shannon is my favorite. Gina got rave reviews from almost everybody. Everyone loved.
I do love Gina's. I think Gina might be my favorite. I also really like Katie's dress.
Katie's dress is very pretty.
But I honestly think they all really look great. My least favorite, I could tell you, is Gretchen's. It's just not my style. It's very pageanty to me.
Mm-hmm.
But she still looks great.
No, she does.
She still looks great. They all look great.
I mean, Emily's hair looks amazing. I haven't seen good Emily hair in a long time. I don't care if it's extensions. It looks great.
It's so funny because she is not getting like nice comments on social media about her hair. And I agree with you. I really like it. Yes, it's a lot of hair and it's extensions, but
yeah,
I think it's a nice change for her. It's not an everyday look. It's just for the reunion and it looks good.
I didn't know that she was getting negative comments about her hair. I think it looks great.
I've seen some negative comments.
And I'll be honest with you, I like that Heather's dress was from Amazon for $69 or whatever the heck it was.
Did she say that? Because I didn't hear her say it. Or did we just read that somewhere?
No, I think she did say it. I don't think we saw her say it, but I read that she said it. And then it was all over the place, like the link to it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely all over the place. I liked her dress too. I mean, they're all wearing simple looks. So she has a simple looking dress on.
Yeah. No, I love their looks. And it's very rare that it's very cohesive. It's, I love the colors, the reds and the maroons and the pinks. I love them. I thought it was funny that Gretchen and Tamra have like the exact same pink too. Like the two arch nemesis, are sharing the same color.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll get back to the reunion. We start out with all the ladies on the couch, which is odd because normally we see like a lot of behind the scenes stuff with them arriving, and we didn't see that this time.
No. We saw a couple of them pull up. Like we saw Tamra pull up. But you always see that. But yeah, you're right. Normally, like, Andy's in somebody's dressing room asking, like, so how are you feeling? You know?
Right. Or they're in each other's dressing rooms, like, talking about stuff.
Right.
We didn't see that.
No, not at all.
So Andy starts out with Shannon is fresh off a week at the Golden Door Spa, and she looks great.
Feeling
zen. He asks Heather, since she admitted that she wanted to be a Beverly Hills housewife because the drive was shorter, how long did it take her to get to the set today? And she's like, well, it only took her 7 minutes because I guess they're filming in Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
Emily looks great, Andy said. He asked what's different, and she said she thinks she got her shit together after filming, a little bit of not taking care of herself. And he said, well, it looks like you lost weight. And she said, yeah, 25, 30 pounds, which that's a lot of weight.
That's a lot of weight.
Yeah. I think she was stressed out when she was filming and she was going through a lot. And like she said, she let herself go. And that's what we do as moms.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure she was, because she said she works out 7 days a week. So maybe she wasn't doing that.
Right.
Yeah, it's stressful.
He asked Gina how the real estate business is going. She said good. She said she still loves it. Then he says to Katie, well, we missed you at the back half of the season. How are you feeling about being back with the group? And she's like, well, okay. He's like, do you have any intentions for today? And she said, well, I feel like I need to make up for some lost time, but I'm happy to be here. Okay. He asked Jenn if Ryan had any creative suggestions for her reunion look. And she said, yeah, he had like a bikini, a side tie, a triangle top, how Ryan likes her to dress.
Yeah. It's very on the surface with Ryan.
Yes. He said to Tamra, nice to see you. You recently had breast surgery. Is that true? I just think that's really an obnoxious way to start. I mean, I'm not a fan of Tamra's. I'm really not.
I know.
I didn't know that she had breast surgery. Did you?
Yeah, something came up on social media, but she's had her implants taken out and put them back in, I think, a couple of times.
Right.
So, and she said something about her muscle shifting or something. Like, that's
her pectoral
scary.
muscle was up on her shoulder. Yeah. So she's like, yeah, while you're in there. Listen, I get that she did that. I just think it was so kind of obnoxious of Andy to go there.
Yeah.
Like, immediately.
He didn't seem like he was a big fan of Tamra this episode, in my personal opinion.
No. I'll be honest with you. Ever since she was on his Watch What Happens Live.
Yes.
And she said, I can't, what did she say?
I'll lose my job or something.
Yeah, but
like
that. Because he was talking about therapy.
Right.
And she said she would lose her
said,
job.
I can't, blah, 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 blah. I'll lose my job. And he said, well, that's not true.
Right.
Yes, I agree with you. It has been since then.
Yeah. And then
of course,
she said,
he asks
by the way,
if she has any intentions for the day.
Right. Of course he does. But she also puts out there that I won't be quitting today. By the way, I won't be quitting today.
We'll see.
But the day is young, so who knows? I mean, she gives an update on Teddi that her last scan has 0 tumors detected, and it's a miracle. And
That
then
really
Andy
is a
brings up,
miracle. Thank God.
it 100% is a miracle. It really is.
Thank God for her.
Yeah. I mean, it gives people hope too. Like, miracles are real.
Absolutely. Yep, absolutely.
He brings up that he saw pictures on social media that Tamra attended Alexis's wedding, and it looked like a very beautiful wedding. And, like, tell me about it. And she's like, well, I feel weird talking about it in front of Shannon, like, no disrespect to you. And she's like, no, I saw the pictures. It looked beautiful. And then he asked Jenn, were you invited to the wedding? There was some drama about that. And Emily jumps in. Emily said, well, she was uninvited. Again, that wasn't for you to jump in on, Emily. Not necessary.
And good for Jenn. She's like, well, let me answer.
She said, hold on. Yep. Let me tell you. So she said, well, I was invited and then I was uninvited. And then true to Alexis's, personality, on the day that she got married, I texted her and I said, thinking about you, happy for you and John. And she texted me back and said, I wish there was a world where you and I can be together. Wait, are you free? Can you and Ryan come? I said, I think I just got reinvited, but she was already away. It was her son's graduation.
Yeah.
And then Andy said, well, why did she uninvite you? She said, well, we really weren't talking at the time. And then she had heard that I was closer to Shannon and I was choosing Shannon over her. So she uninvited me. Now, again, that's like Andy, like, trying to make something out of nothing.
Well, I mean, it's just funny. We all knew this. Like, we've seen it. So it was kind of unnecessary for him to bring it up.
I totally agree.
How about when Andy told Tamra he didn't think she was calmer this season?
Oh, yeah.
And they flash back to all the times that she was not calm this season.
Yeah.
The flashbacks do not lie.
No, they don't. She said that she was trying to not get reactive. And he's like, well, are you still going to therapy? She's like, yeah, I was just there on Monday.
Up it, Tamra. Up it.
Yeah, exactly. But then Gina jumps in to try and help her. Well, I feel like with therapy, sometimes it gets worse before it gets better. Okay, but no.
Yeah, I don't know why, Gina, but she was like kind of coddling Tamra.
She was. She really was.
Yeah, I'm not here for it.
And then Tamara's like, well, I was doing well with therapy, and then 2 weeks into filming, and then I got derailed with Teddi's diagnosis with the multiple tumors. And Shannon's like, I know it's going to sound bad, but I just find it ridiculous, like, how you're asking us to give you grace that you didn't give to us. Tamara said, I'm not asking for grace.
But she was.
Yes, you are. You are asking for grace.
Every time something happened, it was like, I can't deal with this. There's bigger things going on. Or, then get off the show, Tamra. Get off the fucking show. Please.
Yep.
Get off the show.
I loved when Shannon called her Tamra Grudge.
Oh my God, that was great.
Love that.
Classic.
You hold all the grudges. I mean, that was the best line of this whole
And Tamra's like, oh,
episode.
no, I don't. That's my problem. I let go of things too soon. Really? Because you
Yeah.
legit really still are talking about Slade and have been for 12 years. Calling his ex-wife? Come on.
Mm-hmm. Then Andy said, Alexis Bellino said she thought that Shannon was trying to ice out Tamra to get her off the show. Shannon said, "Look, I don't even know what I'm wearing on the show. Like,
And
I just
Tamara's
found
like,
out what I'm wearing today."
100%.
Yes.
100%, Tamara said. Tamara was doing
Yeah,
that to Shannon last season.
right. Shannon doesn't do that. Like
No.
she said, she is not that calculated. She's going to show up late. She's going to be disheveled. She is not pulling off any master plan like this. That is not
Right.
in her makeup. That's not who she is.
Right. Right.
And Heather's sitting next to her, on the couch next to her. I totally agree. Like, that is not who Shannon does not do that.
No. No way. I think Shannon's just happy to be there.
I think you're right.
You know?
I think you're 100%
I really do.
right.
I mean, it's a good source of income for her.
Yes.
Her daughters are, not on it a lot, but because of their ages, they can't be, in what they're doing in their lives, but they show up when they have to.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's done the whole relationship thing on camera, and that was a disaster.
Right.
I think Shannon's doing the best she can to be a housewife, and she's doing a good job.
So then Katie jumps in and says to Shannon, "You didn't call production in the middle of filming and say I'm uncomfortable. I feel unsafe around Katie. I want Gretchen to have her orange. I want her out." And Shannon said, "Absolutely not." And then Katie looks over to Jen and said, "Did she have a phone call with Alex during the season?" And Jen's like, "You're asking me? Like, how am I supposed to know?" And Andy's like, "Alex is in my ear." Nope. Never spoke.
Why would Alex be in his ear, by the way? Because he's a producer of the show, so he's a producer at the reunion.
I would think so.
I got to be honest with you. I think that Shannon may have said, "I'm uncomfortable knowing that she filmed me." I could see her saying something like that to a producer, but I can't see her saying, "Give Gretchen her orange." Like, that's just a stupid thing.
No.
And when they showed Tamra saying she would rather be around Gretchen than Vicky, did you watch this on Peacock? Because I feel like this was a Peacock scene. Did you see this?
I didn't see that. No. So what was the scene?
Okay. I think I said that backwards. I think so. They show Tamra saying, I think she said she would rather be around. I think maybe this was a flashback. She would rather be around Gretchen than Vicky, but now she's saying yeah. So at some point she said, "I'd rather be around Gretchen than Vicky," but now she's saying to bring Vicky back for season 20. And Emily calls it out, and Emily's like, "This is a strategy. You want Vicky back on because you're in a good place with Vicky now, right?" And Tamara's like, "Well, I just think that, she was an OG and she's been on the first season." And
no, we didn't see any of that.
Even Shannon said it's manipulative. And Shannon is still close with Vicky, right?
Yes, she is. Shannon and Vicky are still close. But wait, I didn't know that Vicky and Tamara are okay because when Teddi got sick, Vicky sent the coloring book and the well wishes, right?
Yeah. So this is like a new thing. So I had that, but yeah. So they show Tamara saying she would rather be around Gretchen than Vicky, but now she's saying bring Vicky back for season 20. And Emily and Shannon were both calling her out, saying that it's a strategy and it's manipulative, which it is. She's got the one thing I took away from this first episode of the reunion is these women are crazy if they agree to film with Tamra anymore. She brings such toxicity to this show unnecessarily. I would never want to film with her.
I agree that she's toxic and I think that she's batshit crazy. But I don't think any housewife should refuse to film with another housewife.
No, of course not. But I wouldn't want to.
I just wouldn't engage. And
I think it's impossible to not engage with her. I think that Jenn Pedranti has tried not to, and it's just impossible. I think after her first season on, Jenn has been like, "You're crazy, and I'm not engaging," and she gets sucked into it.
So then a viewer says to Heather, "Whether it was game or not, you and Emily both agree that you wouldn't trust Tamra with any sensitive information. How can you be friends with Tamra but never fully share yourself with her?" Heather said, "Well, we've been friends for a very long time. Some would say historical friends." I was like, oh my God, Heather.
That's come up before, and I couldn't remember where. Yes, and I believe it was about them two on a prior reunion.
Yeah. She said, she looked at Tamra, she's like, I care about you a lot, but you ask why I pick your name about someone I wouldn't trust. It's because your inconsistencies and your unpredictable nature. And sometimes that's just the truth. And Andy says to Tamra, like, how do you take that? Tamra said very slowly, I'm hearing you and I will work on it. I was like, I think we might have to have a deeper conversation about that. I was like, are you kidding me? That's the only answer the entire time she's given that was slow and calm and not hysterical.
Right. Because it was Heather.
Not hysterical.
Because it's fancy pants.
And then Emily jumps in and said, well, when we were playing that game, I said Tamra too. Andy said, and Tamra said, yeah, you broke my heart by saying that. Emily said, well, that's why I'm bringing it up. I've seen you throw out terrible things about her. And she's pointing at Shannon.
Mm-hmm.
And
when you were good friends with her.
When she was your best friend. And Tamra said, well, she's throwing out terrible things about me. She said, I said you had an ego. That's not all you said. And she's like, why are you surprised that Emily and Heather said they don't trust you when you throw secrets in their face to hurt them? Tamra said, like, what? And Shannon's like my dad? And then Tamra, again, like she just keeps doubling down.
Oh, yeah.
She said, Shannon, on season 15, you had a conversation with Bronwyn saying that you had alcoholism in your family, in your immediate family, so you went to Al-Anon. Okay. She didn't say who it was.
Never said who it was. And she did.
She didn't say who it was.
Yeah. And she did just say it was in her family. She never said like, my parent, my this, my that.
Right.
Yeah. And damn sure somebody had to bring that up to Tamra because she didn't remember that.
There's no way.
15, somebody definitely. And it had to be a producer, quite honestly. Because who else would know? I mean, we remember shit like that, but we wouldn't know what season it was.
No.
And then poor Shannon has to sit down with her father and tell him, basically, your private business is going to be on national television. And he apologized to her.
I know. And Shannon even called her out for what she said under her breath when she went into the kitchen and she was so pissed off. She's worried that it's going to make her look like she's an alcoholic, like she has an alcohol problem. She doesn't even care about her dad. Are you kidding me? And then her excuse for these things is because I was mad, because I was angry. So it's okay for you to act like this if you're mad or angry.
Right. But God forbid somebody said something about somebody in your family. And Shannon said it. You would rip my head off if I said anything about anybody in your family. And Jen's like, after all this therapy and all this stuff, like, sometimes don't you just think like, fuck it, it might be me. And Tamra's like, I am saying that, but she's not. Because she's not taking any accountability. Like she just doubled down and said, well, Shannon, you said it in season 15 that somebody had alcoholism in your family. Like it's not the same as you calling her father out for being an alcoholic. It's not the same thing.
No, it's not. No, it is not. A viewer asked Jenn, do you think Tamra would have less problem with the group if she was more accountable for her actions? Jenn said, I looked at you and I said, you're going to therapy. Have you looked in the mirror and said, I'm going to make a change? Tamra said, that's why I'm still going to therapy. Like even when she's answering, she's angry.
Yep.
Andy asks Tamra if she has any intentions of apologizing. Tamra said, yes, my plan is to stay calm, take accountability, and apologize. Well, okay, that may be your plan, but that's not what's happening. None of that's happened. None of it's happened. She didn't take accountability for anything.
Not a damn thing. Not yet. Not a damn thing.
So then Andy brings up Katie was accused of stirring the pot of deception this season, but her failed polygraph test and secret recording had these women dropping her faster than Shannon's grilled cheese.
I got to be honest with you, I totally forgot that she reached out to Emily's ex-nanny or she was somehow in communication with the ex-nanny. I totally forgot about that.
But wait, it's not that she was in communication with the ex-nanny. It's that the ex-nanny reached out to her and then went on a podcast. Like, that wasn't her doing.
But she said on a podcast that she spoke to the ex-nanny, I think. Right?
I thought the ex-nanny reached out to her and then the ex-nanny went on a podcast and spoke about it.
It feels like it was so long ago. And now, literally, they're all talking to content creators. So it's hard to keep up.
I know. It really is hard to keep up. It really is.
That's like ruining this show. That's ruining the housewives all over.
What's ruining the housewives is that they don't take accountability for anything.
That too.
they go to work every day with the intention of taking somebody down instead of going
Yes.
into work every day with the intention to have fun.
Right. And show their lives. Show us your
Right.
lives. That's what Housewives is
Right.
about.
Right.
Not
Their
tearing someone
intentions.
down.
Right.
You're 100% correct.
Yeah. So Andy asked Katie what's like watching all that back, because then they showed all the scenes of everyone, attacking Katie. And she said, well, it's not fun. It's hurtful to watch. He said, well, what is your reaction that all the viewers are now rallying around you, after that lie detector episode? She said she was shocked. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I was a little shocked too. I was happy for her because I do think that it was a setup. I do think it was a pylon. I do think that, they were going after her. They didn't want her there.
Yeah, talk about trying to ice somebody out. They really were. They really were trying to ice Katie out. And you know what?
They really were.
Tamra was 100% on board with that. And I was totally team Katie this whole season because I did feel like she was getting piled on. But now knowing that she and Tamra are like BFFs, I am struggling with it.
I don't know that they are, because did you see the look on Katie's face a lot of the times when Tamra was really flipping out and acting out?
I didn't notice.
Yeah. Katie looked disgusted, and she was not
How could you
standing
not?
by it. She wasn't standing by it with her facial reactions to her.
Okay.
I did think it was interesting. But then Emily jumps in and says, but you filmed her. Why isn't that being addressed? Katie said, I did not film her. I did a voice recording and I did not play it for Alexis. Andy said, well, Alexis put out on her social media that you did play it for her. Katie said, well, if that's the case, I'd love for Alexis to tell me what Shannon said, because I never played it, which I think is a very valid question to ask.
Yeah. No, I totally agree.
Right?
Yes.
And then Tamra jumps in and said, oh, Shannon, you never filmed anyone?
This was pretty fucked up.
It was really effed up. Shannon said, we're gonna drop this because this is gonna hurt somebody. And he says, is it somebody here? And Tamara's like, no, it's Vicky. Shannon's like, Vic, yep.
A terrible person, Tamra.
She is.
She's a terrible,
she really is.
terrible person.
She really is.
And I don't even know, because they said husband, but I mean, Shannon wasn't on the show when Vicky was married to Don, so it had to be, I was assuming it was Brooks. No, maybe it was that guy, Steve. No, it's not the guy Vicky's with now.
No.
Somebody said husband, though, but Don was the last husband she had. And
I think Shannon said husband.
I think she did.
I mean, she could have misspoke at the time.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't think, maybe it was that guy, Steve, or Brooks, because I don't think it's the guy she's with now. He seems, they seem good, Vicky and her current boyfriend.
Yeah, I don't think it's him either. So then a viewer asked Emily, you seem like a fierce defender of your family. Why did you go into defense mode with Katie in the beginning of the season? Her response to it was like, it was a level of deceit and an invasion of privacy outside of anything I've ever seen before. I'm like, wait, what? Katie said, oh, so when you brought out all that information at the reunion last year, that wasn't planned? And then Emily I'll differentiate this. No, you're not. No, you're not.
She tried to rationalize what she did. It's this. Okay, so Lori and I did Salt Lake City the other night. And I said, like, these women, like Lisa Barlow, like, it's like they're all doing the same thing. But she'll make it seem like what she's doing isn't as bad as what everybody else is doing. And that's how Emily tried to rationalize this. Like, yeah, no, I did that. But what you did, it's like, no. You both did the same thing. And Katie did it in retaliation, basically, or in defense of herself against what you did. What Emily did last year at the reunion was disgusting, bringing up the fact that she lost custody of her children. That is a low. Mm-hmm. And that is much, much different than saying that the nanny told her that your boys did say you don't like Heather Dubrow. It's very different.
Very different. Very different.
It's a legal issue. It's a legal issue. And as a lawyer, you know that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think Katie stood up for herself well on that. And I think that, once again, Emily wasn't being accountable.
No.
And that's what it comes down to.
Right. I mean, Emily thinks Katie uses content creators to fight her battles. But first of all of these housewives need to stop talking to content creators. And it's really infuriating me. I'm not gonna start talking about Jersey, but it's really infuriating me how everybody is saying Jennifer Aiden got fired for that. if that's the case, then Teresa should have gotten fired too, because Teresa and Jennifer Aiden were doing the same fucking thing as each other, as was Louis, as was James Leonard, as now we know Tamra was, now that Katie was, Lisa Barlow is. It's like they're all doing it. And I still think what I thought last, I don't think Katie thought she was coming back. So I think off camera, she was talking to anybody and everybody. Because what did she care? She wasn't coming back.
Yeah. Then Andy says, Katie, you told Us Weekly that it was one person that refused to film with you. Who was that person? And she said, Emily. And Emily's like, I don't have that power. Katie said, even on camera, I will take a lie. That's what she said. So Emily's like, you said on camera that I will take a lie detector test. So it wasn't my idea. You said it. Come on.
Yeah. And how about Andy saying, well, there's only certain people who do that who will go on TV. Yeah. People who are actors who don't really do this.
Right. And then Tamra said, I heard if you clinch your butthole, you can pass it. Katie said, you told me that to Tamra.
Yeah.
And
listen,
Emily said, well, I don't need a lie detector test.
I do agree with what Emily said, that if this were a setup, the producers would have blown up her spot by now. Don't you think? I agree with Emily with that. I mean, I think she's probably right. If they knew about it. But, these women do things that the producers don't always know about.
Oh, I think that's true, too.
Yeah.
I think that's true, too. But she said, I didn't need the lie detector test because I already knew you were lying. So then Tamra said, what she said to Emily, but she said, like, why are you talking about me? And Emily said, everything I say to you, I say to your face. And I think Emily does say.
I do too.
Yeah.
I do too.
And then Shannon starts to try and say something and Tamra yells, no one's talking to you, just be quiet. No one's talking to you, just be quiet. She said it like 3 times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and then she said,
called Emily out
up.
Tamra called Emily out for saying things under her breath, like having snide remarks in her confessionals. That's all Tamra does. At least Emily will say it to your face. Tamra will never say it to your face. Tamra talks shit in confessionals all the time.
Yep. Right. Emily said, like I said, that you were, you never had girlfriends. You weren't like a girl's girl. That's what she was saying to Gretchen. Right. I mean, this is true. And she said it to her face.
Right.
And then they asked Gina, since you forgave Katie at the hot pot, how hurtful was it hearing from Kiki Monique that you said something to her that she thought was, they wouldn't even say the word racist, the R word.
I know.
I'm like,
okay,
we can't say racist? Racist? It's like.
It's something new every day. Right.
I know.
It's something new every day, for crying out loud.
So Gina said after watching it back, I understand that if that triggered a trauma for you, I'm not in the business of traumatizing people. Like, I apologize for that. Katie said, well, I appreciate that. And I didn't trigger a trauma. And I never said that you were a racist. She said the R word also. I said that comment implied that. I didn't say that you were. But if you say that a comment implies that, just by saying that racist word, it's out there. Once you say the word, it doesn't matter what sentence the word is in.
No.
It's out there.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
The word that you can't say.
Right.
But that's why you can't say it.
Right. I was just going to say, maybe that's why they're saying the R word.
I just said it 3 times, maybe 4.
Exactly.
So Gina says, I really wish instead of sitting down with Kiki, you would have just sat down with me and told me.
But again, this was between seasons.
Right.
There was no reason for her to sit down with Gina if she didn't think she was coming back.
Then Andy says, does anybody else want to apologize to Katie? And nobody said anything. And then Katie said, being called as, and she's talking to Shannon, being called as evil as Alexis was not very kind. And Tamra raised her hand and said, Tamra Judge, you said it wasn't as, Shannon said, I am so hurt by the thought that you would have betrayed me. And I'm not happy about what I said. Like, I do regret it. So Shannon admits that, she reacted. It was a total reaction at the time. And Shannon is one that does reflect on things. Sometimes she reacts in the moment and then she stops and she thinks about it and she apologizes if she needs to. That's what Shannon does.
Yes.
Unlike Tamra, who reacts in the moment, never apologizes, doesn't take accountability.
Totally tries to justify her behavior.
Yes, and just keeps going and going and going and acting like a raving lunatic. Andy asked if there's any way to move forward with some of the people in the group, and Katie said, well, I hope so. I hope so too.
I don't think it's really up to her at this point.
No, I don't think it is either. And then they get back from a break. Heather's complaining about how it's so hot. Gretchen's getting her hair done, and they're asking her if Slade is going to be there, and she said no. There's
Now,
no
what do
way
you think
Slade would
about
go
that?
there. There's no way he would show up.
Why?
Matt's there. He's not going to show because Matt's there.
That's what I'm saying. To me, that looks
Yeah.
like an admission of guilt. That you
100%.
know this guy is saying these things about you. You
Right.
know he's coming.
Yep.
And you don't show up.
Right.
Now, Ryan, has Ryan ever been on I don't think Ryan's ever come on a reunion. Jen Pedrante's Ryan, right?
I honestly don't remember.
I don't
No, I
think
feel
he
like he
has.
has. I feel like he has. I feel like he was sitting behind her with a stupid jacket on, but no.
He wasn't on he wasn't on last reunion. Maybe he was on the first one. But I don't think he was on last year.
I don't know.
I know. We're going to have to fact check this.
We're definitely going to have to fact check it. Or if it was here, she'd ask our listeners to look it up for us.
But I just wonder, because it would have been great because they were all involved if Matt, Ryan, and Slade were all there. But I don't think it was a good look for Slade to not be there.
No. I can't wait to see Matt next week because we're going to see Matt next week.
Yes, we are. My God. What about Andy? Did you see this part? Because again, I watched it on Peacock. Andy says, Alexis Bellino just texted me the seating chart.
No.
See, this is what I mean. The reunions, for sure, you have to watch on Peacock.
Okay.
He says, why did Alexis Bellino just text me the seating chart for the reunion while they're filming the reunion? And then she texted him and said, oops, I'm sorry. That was meant for a different Andy. Now, Tamra's the only one who would do, right? Who talks to Alexis like that.
Well,
somebody sent Alexis the seating chart. I guess it
Heather
could have been like a glam
Alexis.
person or something.
Come on. It was Tamra.
It was totally fucking Tamra. She's such a little bitch.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, how funny is that? And she goes, oops, sorry, that was meant for another Andy.
No, it wasn't. She totally did that on purpose.
She probably did.
Totally did that on purpose.
Oh my God.
What did Shannon say what was the reactions when he said that?
Everybody was like, whoa.
How about Tamra? Did she react like that? Did she seem surprised?
No, she was like, oh, Alexis. Oh, typical Alexis.
Unbelievable.
Yep. I just saw before we came on that Alexis and John Jansen were at an OC viewing party, an OC reunion viewing party.
Stop it.
Yeah, they're fucked up, those two.
They deserve each other.
They totally deserve each other. They'll probably be married for the rest of their lives.
Yep.
Just waiting to get back on OC, the two of them.
Unbelievable. So then they come back from the break and Andy shows all these clips of all the kids, all the housewives interacting with their kids. And then he says to Emily, how is Luke? And she said, well, it's complicated. He went from a happy fourth grader and he was, gifted. And then all of a sudden the teacher said there was all these changes and he regressed. He started acting like a baby. He wouldn't go to school. And then Emily starts talking about when it started airing, she started getting all these DMs from other parents saying, have you checked into pandas? She said, it's very complicated. I looked into it. It has to do with strep throat, and it comes from a bacteria that remains after the strep throat, and it affects the brain, and the brain swells. Now, have you heard of this?
Yes. So in third grade, when Tess was having her issues before she was diagnosed with the anxiety, my pediatrician thought she had this, because she had chronic strep throat growing up. So it stands for pediatric autoimmune neuropsychiatric disorder associated with strep throat. So it's characterized by a sudden onset of neurological and psychiatric symptoms in children and adolescents after a group A strep infection. So these are the symptoms: OCD, tics, anxiety, mood swings, sleep disturbances, changes in appetite or eating habits, regression in motor skills, or academic performance. So Tess did not meet the criteria for it, although my pediatrician was right on top of it, thinking that it was that. But that kid, what we've learned about him fits that description completely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she said that
I had never heard of the laser treatment. That's wild.
Yeah. She said all the symptoms are associated with the strep throat, and there's a higher risk with kids that are on the spectrum.
Yeah.
Or it does go back to him being on the spectrum, but he also has that, what was that called? The
Oh,
eating
oh my goodness. Or
ARFID?
ARFID.
ARFID.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she said, that there's this laser treatment that they're gonna do on his brain to reduce the swelling of his brain, which, listen, at least they figured out what it is, right? I mean, it's
Sure.
scary. It's
It's
scary,
very
but the
scary.
fact that they know what it is and that there's something that they can do to help him, I think that's huge. I think that's huge.
Well, swelling on the brain in general is very scary.
Yes,
So if there's anything they can
absolutely.
do to alleviate that, I mean, if there's really laser treatment out there for that, that's pretty miraculous because that could be treatment for a lot of things.
Yes.
A lot of head trauma.
Yeah, like, yeah, traumatic brain injuries, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So then
But
we see
I'm just gonna say this because I think Emily got a lot of shame put on her by sharing this about
I do
Luke.
too.
And we said it, we didn't think that there was anything wrong with it. And here's the reason. She had moms all over the place sharing their knowledge and information with her. Like,
Mhm.
if her doctor didn't detect the pandas, maybe another mom reaching out. Like, listen, my kid, they thought she had it at some point, and it never occurred to me that that's what it could have been. I really thought he just had anxiety. I blame everything on anxiety anymore, though. um, but she had all these people reaching out to her and, led to this. So it's important. It was important for her to do that.
No, I agree, and she was showing her real life.
Exactly.
She was showing
Exactly.
her real life,
Yeah.
right?
Let's not shame her
Which is
for
what we
doing
want
that
them to
because
do.
that's what we're supposed to be watching.
Yes, and then he brings up Jen. We saw Dawson graduate from boot camp, and he passed out during the ceremony. He said, "Was it like the tattoo incident?" And Jen said, "Listen, she also got a lot of DMs after this happened from people because they were concerned, was it something?" And she said, "No, it was just, I guess the last 3 days prior to graduation is like very hard on them physically, and it just, you know." Wiped him out, but
Yeah.
he was fine. Everything was okay. And then he brings up, Tamara, you mentioned that you and Sydney saw each other recently. And then she starts like crying. Yeah, she came to the house. She was going to lunch with Sophia. And I went outside. We hugged. We talked for about 30 minutes. And then she said, Mom, can I have a hug goodbye? And she's like, I held her for such a long time. It was a really special moment. I'm like,
I'm curious to know if this young lady has again asked her not to talk about her on the show, and now she's talking about her on the show.
yeah. I mean,
She has
Andy did ask her, but she didn't have to answer.
she didn't have to answer, especially if
She
if the young lady asked her not to.
Right, she could have just said, "I'd rather not speak about it," out of respect for Sydney
Right. Or
or my daughter.
things all she had to say was, "I feel like things might be moving in a good direction."
Mhm.
Done. And I don't know why
Yep.
Andy's handing her a tissue because there were no tears. She didn't need that
Then he
tissue.
No, she didn't. Then he asks Shannon, "Is Stella still visiting every country?" And Shannon's like, "Well, yeah, she just let me know that she wants to get into hospitality, like, she wants to travel all over Europe. She's not coming back."
Yeah. She is
I
not
mean,
moving back to the US. God bless you,
good for
Stella.
her. Good for
Good
her
for
living her
you.
best life,
Yep.
right?
Yep. Good for you.
Actually love Shannon's relationship with her daughters.
Me too. Too.
They've been
I
through a
think
lot together.
exactly. I think Shannon's been through a lot and her girls have watched it and have always been supportive in the best
Mhm.
way. You know,
Yes.
coddling her with her DUI, like still holding her accountable, but just
Mhm.
being super supportive about it.
So then a viewer asked Emily how her relationship is with Shane. She said, it's good. Sometimes I just need emotional support. And I know that if I don't get that from Shane, it's okay because I can get it from Gina and, other people here. She said the fact that Shane is so pragmatic and solid and unemotional is actually helpful. And, she said that after the experience with wife swap, she's kind of changed her, her thinking, which I think she did. I think that that's true.
Yeah.
Especially when I
Yeah.
found out it was right on the heels of her Amsterdam trip that she left to go to wife swap.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. So then we get back from another break, and now Gretchen's coming out in her pink. Andy asked Gretchen what she was going for look-wise, and Andy said it kind of looked like Elle Woods or Elsa. Tamara
Elsa.
said,
Yeah.
Elsa. I think she looks like John Benet Ramsey. I was like, that's a diss.
It's just a
And Heather said, yeah.
kind of a cruel thing to say after knowing what happened to this poor young girl.
Yes. Yes.
It's a weird
And
thing to
Heather's,
say.
I agree. I totally agree. Like, why would she's just obnoxious. That's why.
Yeah.
Heather said, I like her look. Listen, I'm glad that Heather stuck up for her, to be honest with you.
I mean, somebody had to. I love when somebody, I don't know who said it. They were like, it's like a little costumey, but I say that like in the nicest way. Was it Heather? Maybe Heather said that?
It was either, it might have been Emily, actually.
It might have been Emily. Yeah. Yeah.
It was either Heather or Emily that said that.
Yeah. She's like, but I say that in the nicest way.
Yeah. So then Andy asks her, like, what have you been doing? I mean, obviously you have your beautiful daughter. She's like, oh, well, I do a lot of digital marketing for a lot of companies. It's my main source of income. So you are a brand spokesperson? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. What? Right. And an influencer.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. She's an influencer.
Yeah. Slade, he asked, like, what's Slade doing? And she said, he's a consultant. She didn't say what he was a consultant for.
She did not.
And he sits on the Liberace
How
Foundation
to date
board.
a housewife. That is what Slade is consulting.
I mean, what is he consulting for?
How to latch yourself onto a housewife.
In Orange
Current
County.
or former.
I mean, the Liberace Foundation board, I'll be honest with you. I'm glad Andy jumped all over that because I was all over that too. Like, what is that?
What?
How do you get on that?
And what do you do? What does it do?
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. And he got it through the consul of Monaco? How is Slade friends with the consul of Monaco?
I have no idea. So then they play all these clips of all the interactions between Tamra and Gretchen throughout the season.
What a roller coaster ride.
Yes. No, Gretchen, did you have reservations about coming back on the show and spending time with Tamra, or did you think you had the upper hand? And Gretchen said, well, I definitely had reservations, but my intent was not to come in and come for Tamra.
Tamra rolls her eyes.
Yeah. If you were asked
Tamra, called her out for bringing Joe on.
Right.
And she said, Joe's my friend. We never before this season ever once saw Tamra with Joe.
Mm-hmm. Then a viewer asked Gretchen, how do you blame Tamra for Slade being out of work for 2 decades? Gretchen said, I apologize for that. I thought that was a little big of her. Like, why is wait, what?
Well, how about Tamra saying Slade being arrested was probably the reason he couldn't get a job? What was he arrested for? Child support, you think?
Probably. Yeah. She said, don't you think him being arrested affected him? And she said no. She didn't even address it. I like that she just said no. I like that she didn't go after her. She just said no.
Right.
And then he brings up about, you were asked how does Slade contribute to the household? She said, well, it didn't come out on camera, but, when he goes to the grocery store, he pays, it comes out of his account.
They didn't show that.
They didn't. But they did this time.
Yes.
And then he brings up the proposal on camera. She said that was a real moment. Like, I love this man. Like, I really love him. And Andy said, well, I thought it was because you wanted to get married and you wanted Bravo to film it. I was like,
Andy,
ooh.
you're absolutely right. Andy was
so Gretchen said no.
Right.
Gretchen said no. And Andy said, well, like, when do you want to get married? She said, like, whenever. And then Tamra said, well, in God's eyes, don't you think you should be married? Jenn said, well, she is married in God's eyes. And we find out that she is married by an ordained pastor, bitch. Like, why would, seriously?
Yep. The born again Christian.
Yep.
Tamra.
Yep.
Sitting over there with her judgy eyes.
You know what God's eyes wants, right?
Yeah. Right. We know plenty of people who do not get married in the eyes of the state.
We sure do. We sure do. And it's not for that reason.
No, exactly. It's for a totally different reason.
Yep. Then he brings up that Gretchen, you mentioned several times during Heather's sleepover that Fireball gets you wild. Were you looking for liquid courage to bring that up? She said no.
When Heather said Gretchen saying the rumor was not premeditated and Tamra yells, bullshit.
Yep.
And then Shannon tries saying something and Tamra freaks out on her again. She's very erratic, Tamra.
Yeah.
Some people, and I wouldn't say this, but some people were saying, like, was she on something?
What would you be on to make you act like that?
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know.
Maybe she drank a little bit, but it's so early in the morning. I can't see these women drinking.
But it doesn't seem like drunken behavior. Like
no,
you said,
it doesn't.
It must have just lost power for a second. It seems like psychotic behavior, to be quite honest with you. I mean, I'm not a doctor, but she's very she's,
up and down,
you know,
up
I'm
and
not a
down.
doctor.
Oh, I mean, you could, you could pull it off. But yeah, it was all she's up and down, up and down. But Emily saying she was annoyed that they seemed to reconcile at the beach, and then this came up at Heather's. Emily was pushing for it to come out.
Yeah.
So I don't like that she just said that.
No, I don't
I
either.
don't think
I don't
if
either.
Emily wasn't pushing as hard as she was, and again, I don't think Heather was. I think it was Emily pushing and pushing for this to come out. And I don't think Gretchen would have necessarily said it if Emily wasn't pushing for
Wasn't
it.
pushing it. Right.
Although
right.
Heather's the one that was like, I'm going to call Slade. But again, I just feel like Emily's behavior was like motivating the whole thing.
Yeah, but I still, I agree with you. I totally agree with you. I still don't understand. And Shannon even says it, like she whispers to Gretchen, like, why does Tamra have such a hard on for me? And Gretchen's like, I know, it's weird. It really was weird.
Yeah.
Because it was just every single time Shannon tried to talk, she would either yell at her, shut up, or the faces she was making.
Yep.
I mean, seriously, it was
That's why
psychotic.
I'm wondering, did they show her that last clip of the season before they started down at that reunion? Maybe she had just seen that and she was all jacked up about it. And Shannon,
Listen,
who was sitting there? It was Jenn, Shannon, and Gina.
If
who
they
got that
did
phone
that,
call?
yes. If they showed that scene before the reunion and they didn't let us know and they're giving us this reunion this way, then I am even going to be more pissed off
Yes.
than I've been this entire season.
She
Because
seems
this is
very
one of the things,
jacked up about something, Tamra.
there is something. She is not, I mean, she's always crazy, but she's a next level crazy. Really, I don't even know.
No, I totally agree.
A viewer asked Tamra, why are you overreacting about this rumor when it was so long ago? Don't you also bring up all the dirt on people? And she's like, what old dirt do I bring up? And Andy said, well, you just brought up Shannon recording Vicky. Tamra said, well, then why did you call me and say, who the hell would be with Vicky? She treats her boyfriend like shit. Again, she's still bringing it up.
She's still doing it.
She's still doing it.
While Andy's calling her out for doing it and she's denying doing it and she's still doing
Right.
it.
And Andy said,
She's
you just
such a
proved my point.
narcissist, though. She does exactly, but she's such a narcissist. She doesn't think that we see it.
Yeah.
And then she's sitting there making fun of Shannon. Like when Shannon starts talking, she's like with her hands, like making fun of her. Like, how
And the
fucking
faces.
old are you? She has the mentality of like a middle school aged girl, mean middle school aged girl. That's the age. That's the mental age that Tamra Judge is. A mean middle school girl.
And then she yells at Shannon again to shut up. Another time.
She should probably just get off the show for her own mental health.
Then Jenn says, well, you did it.
What a hypocrite she was in this
She's totally a
episode.
hypocrite. Jenn said you did it too at the cake decorating event. You said that you heard that she started showing that video and that she just brings out the video of, what was that video of?
She was saying something about somebody cheating in the video.
Yes.
Who was it, though?
I don't remember who it was.
Yeah,
and she said, well, why did you?
Shannon says it in that episode. She was like, but see, Tamra, like this is, or no, was it Emma? No, I think it was Shannon. She was like, see, this is
Shannon
what you
said
do.
it. Yes, Shannon said it. And at this time, when Jenn is telling her this, well, Tamra said, well, because I was mad. And she's like, that's what I'm saying. That's your excuse. And then Shannon tries to talk again, and Tamra yells at her again. I'm not talking to you. It's ridiculous. I'm like, what is wrong with her?
Yeah, something's not right. Like somebody check on Tamra. She's not right.
Yeah.
I'm really curious to see what happens with her and Eddie, because I feel like Eddie at this point, because his appearance on the show was very limited this season. He must be like, enough, like get off the show. Let's just go live our lives in Big Bear. Like Eddie does seem like a reasonable person, other than how he blindly is loyal to Tamra. But it's his wife. Okay, I get it. But I mean, he must at this point really want her off that show. I mean, if that's her in real life,
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't even know
really
what to
don't know.
say.
I don't know what to say either. But, it ends with them yelling and screaming at each other.
Yeah.
And, she's screaming like, coming after me. You come after my kids. I don't talk about you.
After your kids, like, you're just speaking nonsense at this point. You're just speaking nonsense. Who's coming for your kids?
But the thing about it is, in her mind, that is what's happening, which is why I'm saying I really think that there is some kind of psychosis. Again, I'm not a doctor, but
Right.
I think that we need to get one involved.
I just played one on the podcast.
Exactly. I think we need to get a doctor involved.
Somebody needs an evaluation for sure.
I think so.
Yeah.
But next week is part 2, and Matt comes out. And
is there 2 parts or 3? I would imagine there's
3.
Okay.
There's 3. Matt comes out, and we see Jenn and Katie kind of going back and forth at each other. So I don't think Ryan was there. I don't think Ryan was there, right?
No.
So we'll have to wait and see. I mean, I'm aggravated now about that whole video because I feel like it's not going to come out until the 3rd part now.
Oh yeah,
because they didn't show it.
I think
they didn't show it to us.
Next week we'll probably finish up with the whole Tamra Gretchen thing because that kind of got derailed by the way Tamra was treating Shannon, and then we'll get into the whole Katie Gretchen thing, and then Matt will come out. So I mean that could potentially last all episode.
Yeah.
All but right, it'll be interesting to see.
We're over an hour.
Oh my God, why are we talking so much tonight?
I don't know.
Jeez.
And not for nothing, this is my 3rd episode in a row.
I know. I only did 2. You did 3. I was supposed to go see Kai. Oh my God, it's almost 11 o'clock.
Oh my God. Until next time, thank you for watching and listening. Please subscribe and give us 5-star reviews. Bye.
Bye.